Namaste. So couples who are undergoing with certain fertility treatments, or who are I would say not fertility treatments, or who are into this journey towards fertility, need to understand these basics to achieve great results and to make the fertility journey more fruitful. So basically, couples who are planning with conception fall under these three categories. Number one category, couples who are planning for conception, they are recently married and without any undergoing any form of investigation or without undergoing any form of ovulation tracking, they are just planning with the fertile days. Second category के नीचे fall people who are planning for conception maybe since 6 months or 1 year, and they are tracking the ovulation in every cycle, but they are not able to achieve good results yet. And under the third category fall people who are actually undergoing or who have underwent with few IUI cycles or IVF cycles, and they have taken certain treatments, but they are still unable to conceive or get results. So understanding about all these three categories and how to make it more fruitful, how to make this journey much easier and towards positivity, let's understand about this. So most important factor is when you are newly married or when you have recently started planning for a child, you need to understand few basics. That most important thing is, let's talk about the investigations. Don't go into numerous investigations, but at least you need to understand few basics. Number one, in females, is she ovulating normally? So you need to track her ovulation not on the phone apps or mobile apps. You need to properly go to a sonography unit, sonography center, where they will track on a regular basis for few days after your menstruation, and they will give you a proper record of how you're ovulating, on which day your ovaries are releasing eggs, and how the egg size is growing and how the follicular size is growing, and when is the follicle rupture happening, and eventually how is your endometrium thickness, and then is it the right time for planning of fertile days. So you need to understand it in detail. Secondly, most important is to understand the semen analysis in men. So if you're planning with conception, first and foremost thing, you need to get your semen analysis done with the morphological study, so you understand that the count is good. If it's not good, then you'll have to work on it. If the motility, viability of the sperm is good, then morphologically you need to understand if there are viable sperms or dead sperms are more, or you need to understand how much is the percentage of normal sperm and how much is the percentage of abnormal sperms. So everything counts. It's not only the count. If the count is good, it's not going to work. You need to understand whether the sperms are in a good form, are they viable, are they able to have a good motility. Everything counts. So this is important investigation, again the semen analysis. Talking about the tubal patency in females, so when you are planning for conception and are unable to conceive later on, you need to also understand if the fallopian tubes are patent, like she does not have a tubal blockage, if there is a long standing vaginal infection or cervical infection, or due to certain reasons, if there is heavy bleeding on a regular basis, or the endometrium lining is too thick, or there is certain long standing infection, that could lead to further blocking of the tubes. So if the tubes are blocked, conception cannot happen. So you need to also understand if the tubes are open or not, if the tubes are patent or not. Now moving on, you can undergo with certain investigations like your routine hemoglobin, your CBC count and all, but you need to first consult your gynecologist, and then she will guide you, and then you can go on with the further investigations. But first you need to understand about these three tests, and then you can plan your conception. Beyond that, couples who are tracking the ovulation but still are not able to conceive, again the same thing, are the tubes patent and is the ovulation satisfactory? And you need to understand it on paper, not on the phone app or mobile app. When you actually go to a sonography unit and see that the ovulation is satisfactory, then you can move on. And because there are so many couples who come after tracking ovulation for almost a year or 6 months or 1 year, and then they say that it's not working, but in most of the cases we see that the ovulation is not satisfactory, the cycles are anovulatory, meaning in some cases the follicular size is not growing, or there's only multiple small follicles in the sonography report, or the endometrium thickness is not good. Like some people have proper rupture happening with the proper follicular size, but the endometrium thickness is very less. So then also the implantation cannot happen even though the follicular rupture has happened, or in some cases the follicular does not rupture, it further gets converted into a cyst. So that is also not considered viable for conception. So there are multiple factors, and also you need to understand regarding the tubal patency. Now talking about couples who are taking treatments for multiple years like IUI or IVF, but they are not able to succeed. So there is much beyond these treatments. You need to see if your weight is perfect in both the husband and wife. It's not only the journey of a woman, the conception journey. Men and women both are equally responsible when it comes to conception, because according to Ayurveda, bija, that means the seed, that means the purush beej or sperm in men, and stri beej or ovum in women, are both equal contributory factors when it comes towards conception. And if these factors are not taken into consideration, conception may not happen, or even if you conceive, there could not be a proper implantation, conception failure may happen. Or in most of the couples or most of the people who undergo with IVF treatments, they also come up to us saying that there is no embryo formation only. So hence we need to understand how important is the semen or the sperm and ovum togetherly. If you work on it, you're going to gain maximum results. So you have to work on both the factors. Men and women both are equally responsible towards the fertility treatments or the fertility results what you get, and not only that, towards a good quality embryo formation. And once your child is born, your child will be born with utmost health, devoid of any abnormalities, not only at the physical level, at the genetic level also. Always remember, you're passing on your genes to your future generation, to your children, both husband and wife. So both of you need to take care of few things. Firstly, you need to see if your lifestyle is good, if your dietary regime is good, if you're sleeping very late at night and waking up late, if you're not eating good food, mindful eating is not happening, that is also going to create problem. Secondly, if you're overly obese, both of you, either of you or both of you, then you need to make sure that you're losing some weight. Or if you're overly thin, because there are people who are thin also, who are quite lean, so that can also be a causative factor towards conception. Apart from that, you need to see if there is certain imbalance in your hormonal profile, thyroid assay. All these things need to be corrected if any problem is seen. If you're diabetic, if your sugar levels are high, that needs to be balanced first. If you're PCOD, then also you need to correct your PCOD, regulate your period cycle, and then go ahead with the fertility journey. So there are n number of things responsible when it comes towards conception. If you keep on tracking your ovulation, and if your ovulation is satisfactory, but maybe your lifestyle is not good, maybe you're obese, so the quality of the embryo is not going to be good, and then hence eventually pregnancy or the embryo implantation may fail, hence you may not gain pregnancy or achieve pregnancy. So both men and women should make sure that whenever they are planning or whenever they are going ahead with the fertility journey, once you decide, make sure you're understanding what's going wrong, what's maybe in your routine or maybe your dietary regime, and correcting it right away, and making positive corrections, making the right changes, and then going ahead so that you can gain best results and you can achieve pregnancy, and at the same time the child born will be absolutely healthy, and at the physical level, mental level, and at the genetic level as well.